Sow seeds of excellence in your professional life. Sow seeds of grace towards others. Sow seeds of love. Bear the fruit of the Spirit and let your light shine before all that you work with. I was raised by a woman who was passionate about her job and the people she served. She was a nurse, and she's one of the lucky few to actually work in a job that is aligned to their purpose. She used every opportunity she got to tell her patients about Jesus' healing power. The fact that some would find her irritating and offensive, especially in a work environment, didn't deter her. She told me of a story of a lady struggling to have kids, and she suggested to that lady that a certain pastor prays for her. And God, in His faithfulness, came through, and that lady was with child. So we need yellow paint.
Yellow paint.
To draw the sunlight. So I must buy yellow paint and blue paint.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're my two favorite colors.
Are those your two favorite colors?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what else are we getting? Sand, we're getting sea grass and other sea plants. The pink ones, what are those called?
Pink ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it's sea... Alice something. Okay, mommy will find out for you. And then...
Wait, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, I think we have to go all over again with the video, but not by the beginning with the pink.
Oh, you want to find out what the pink plant is?
Yeah.
Okay, let's write the rest of the list, and then once we're done, we'll find out what the pink is, okay?
Yeah, but if you don't remember what they said, I'll just tell you.
Okay. I'm just running something here at work. Okay, so I have seed grass, I've got your sea plants, and then I must also include sea animals, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
this reminds me of another story of a colleague friend of mine. Let's call her Elena, who used to sit at desk behind mine at work. One day I eavesdropped on her conversation with one of our colleagues, and she was just telling her about Jesus. Their voices were so low, but curiosity and nosiness, I guess, led me to being so intrigued by their conversation. Later, when I asked her, she told me how she strategically chose her work cubicle to be close to that other lady's one because she felt led to lead her to Christ. Fast forward 4 years later, the lady that Elena mentored to Christ is now a Christian YouTuber, sharing her Christ journey with other new Christians from around the world. I'm citing these two stories just to show you the power of shining your light even in corporate spaces. I have been impacted by two individuals in corporate. Both were thought leaders in their field and well respected in their companies. One took me under his wing to patiently turn me into an Excel master. He would book meetings on our calendars just to take me through building strong spreadsheets. I was not his direct report, but as a recent graduate, he realized that I had to work on my Excel, and he trained me himself. Because of the way he treated me, I was not surprised when I later learned that he's actually a Christian. He walked and worked with such pure love, even in a corporate setting, that I couldn't second guess him. There was no way that this man was not Christian. Another colleague, let's call him Andrew, who's also a master in his field,
took upon himself to teach me the ropes in our line of work. Although he is highly respected and revered, he had this magical way of making me feel like we're both there to learn. In the process, I grew quite comfortable with learning without the dreaded fear of making mistakes. Even his mere greeting, just saying, "How are you?" came from such a genuine place. We had our daily short but stolen conversations about life and everything else, during work hours, and he always made sure that he gets the last word, giving me unsolicited yet subtle yet needed advice about marriage, parenting, career, or just life in general. I guess these are the perks of having colleagues who have walked the journey of life, before you. Even with him, he didn't have to tell me that he is Christian. His aura exudes Christ. His speech is seasoned with salt, and his conversations with me are always purified by his honorable character. It can be tricky working with male colleagues, generally, but it's such a bliss working with those who fear the Lord. I'm telling you all the stories to show you how you cannot afford to put your light under a table, even in a corporate setting, or at your workplace, or in your business. The Bible says in Matthew 5 verse 16 that let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Your light can look like telling someone about Christ, or just a simple act of bearing the fruit of the Spirit. I personally know that I'm less likely to tell someone about Christ in the workplace. I'm very conscious and respectful of other people's spaces, beliefs, and religions, and besides, it's such an awkward conversation to have, and I generally just respect the formality of the corporate environment. Someone might get offended and you might just run the risk of losing your job because of having brought up matters of religion. So unless you are led like my colleague friend Elena was, please do this at your own risk. I'm a believer of you shall know them by their fruits. I want my professional and character fruits to speak for me before I can even open my mouth. I mean, what is the point of being so loud about God if my actions don't speak the same? I will be like a sounding cymbal that irritates everyone's ears. The Bible says in Matthew 7 verse 20 that therefore by their fruits you shall know them. It was by their fruit that nobody had to tell me that my two male colleagues were Christian. It is Elena's fruit of obedience that her disciple is now winning other disciples online. The Bible continues to say in Colossians 3 verse 23 to 24 that whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. The Bible says we should do our work wholeheartedly as unto God and not man. Yes, you might be working for another man, but God has placed you in that place for a reason much bigger than you. We usually don't know the reason God has placed us, in certain work environments, but that reason that we do not know is the main motivation for us to do our jobs wholeheartedly. Just the fact that you have a job is good enough to make you focus on what matters, which is excelling at it. You never know who is watching. You never know who you are impacting. You never know whose soul might be drawn to yours due to your work conduct and your obedience. The verse continues to say that we will receive an inheritance from the Lord as our reward. So I just want to tell you that God sees you. He sees the effort you're putting into your work. He sees the attitude, the struggles, the losses, and the wins, even when nobody else sees it. And He who sees in secret will reward you publicly with an inheritance from Him. You might be working for a company, government, or an individual, but your work is serving Christ. So serve Him with honor.
The plants breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, and the sea animals breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, and you mustn't live.
Sow seeds of excellence in your professional life. Sow seeds of grace towards others. Sow seeds of love. Bear the fruit of the Spirit, and let your light shine before all that you work with. Subtle light, not forced light. Jesus type of light. Thank you so much for listening till this far, and all the best. I love you and shalom.